Yo, what's up? Back once again with another movie review. Well, not really review. This is more so of my initial thoughts on the movie Wonder Woman 1984. I just got finished watching it about an hour ago, maybe a little less than that. Yeah. So, just finished watching it. Unfortunately, I couldn't see it in the theaters, man. I wish I could have, but the current state we live in, man, they forced my hand, so I had no choice but to watch it on where I watch it, and I'm gonna just put it like that. So, yeah, man. In case you've been living under a rock, or if you don't really follow movies like that, this film was supposed to actually come out way back in June of this year. But because of certain things and certain people shutting things down where we could be living our lives like normal, but they keep telling us that this thing that's out to get us and there's this killer disease, and if we do certain things, then we could get back to normal. But we've been doing that for the past 9 months, and we're still in the same spot as where we started. But they keep promising us going back to our normal lives again. That's a whole nother video. But yeah, man, because of the pandemic, this film has been pushed back twice. When it was supposed to be released in June, they pushed it back to August. And then that got pushed back again to Christmas Day. Now, with Warner Brothers, they decided from here on out, all their major theatrical movies are going to be released on their streaming platform, HBO Max, on the same day as it comes out in theaters. Which is quite bizarre because they got a lot of big movies coming up next year. I think Matrix 4 comes out next year. I mean, my gosh, man. Oh, man, talk about a movie that I want to see. Now, that one, I don't know if I can sit home and watch that. I got to go to the theater and watch that. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. But, yeah, I think Matrix 4 is supposed to come out next year. A bunch of other films. I don't know about the Batman joint. I think that one got pushed back too. And Dune got pushed back because I think Dune was supposed to come out in December, actually this month, but they pushed it back a year. So that's also gonna be released on HBO Max when it comes out in theaters. So yeah, all of Warner Brothers movies are gonna be released on streams the same day as it comes out in theaters. Now, I don't know how the whole payment thing is going to work with the subscription with HBO Max. Like, if you have an HBO Max subscription, I don't know if you have to pay a separate amount for those new movies that comes out, or is it going to just be included in your monthly bill or whatnot? I don't know. I have to look that up and see. But, yeah, it's quite bizarre, man. And, you know, the whole film industry is basically just taking a whole shift towards this whole streaming thing. And that's definitely the way to go right now as far as like watching new content within the film industry. So yeah, man, this film just came out Christmas Day. I didn't see it. I didn't watch it on Christmas Day, you know, waited 2 days later to see it. And but before I say my initial thoughts, I did like see a couple of videos. Now, I didn't watch the videos, but I read the title of it, and a lot of the sense that I'm getting is that, well, this was before I saw the film. Like, when I saw, you know, people, you know, making their Wonder Woman 1984 reviews and stuff, I'm reading the title, and like, I got a sense that this whole thing is going to be weird. Like, what the hell did they do? And that was, and I was like, oh man, I don't know. Like, it was definitely very mixed. Not even mixed. It was more so of like, I don't know, kind of a letdown out, I guess. Now, I didn't watch the videos, but just reading the title of a couple of these videos, they kind of hinted at certain things, and I was just like, oh, I don't know. Like, just based off the title, it just looks like they just took a sharp turn left and everything just went completely wherever it went. And now watching the film, like I said, it's not going to be a full-fledged review because I do want to watch this twice. So I did just watch it just an hour ago, and I'm just going to give my initial thoughts on it. And man, this film, it's quite bizarre, man. It's quite bizarre. It's a very different tone from the first Wonder Woman film. It's very 80s-esque. Like, as I'm watching the movie, I'm like, it definitely has an 80s vibe to it. Like, it's set in the 1980s, so of course, you can't expect anything less. But as I'm watching it, I kind of got that feeling of the old Superman movies, like with Christopher Reeves. I haven't really seen the old Superman films with Christopher Reeves in it, but I've seen clips of it, and, you know, you get that cheesiness, you know, you just get like a cheesy vibe from those films. Like, it's definitely one of those films where it's just like so bad, it's so good. Especially, I believe, in Superman 3 or 4, where they just completely went AWOL and they just went all over the place. This is kind of what that movie is. Like, once you get to like the last act of this movie, everything just went completely just haywire. And it was just like, they just threw all caution out the window, and they were just like, yo, we just gonna throw the whole kitchen sink. Like, we don't care. Like, just do whatever. You know what I mean? And that's what it felt like at the last act of the movie. Because I'm watching it, I'm just like, what the hell is this? You know what I mean? This film is so, it's, like I said, it's a very different tone from the first one. The first one was definitely an origin story, of course. But you do, like with the first one, it definitely felt like a Wonder Woman type of film, you know what I mean? It was set, like, most of the movie was set in the Amazon. Like, the movie was built around, you know, her Amazonian culture and them showing that in the beginning. It was very, like, Wonder Woman-esque. It kind of felt like DC's version of Captain America, you know what I mean? That's why I love that movie so much, man, because it definitely reminded me of like a Captain America film, you know, just you know, fish out of water story, you know what I mean? And like I said, it told Wonder Woman's background, you know, it really showed you the culture of the Amazonian tribe, and it was just beautiful. Like, the colors are beautiful and everything like that. Everything was bright. It wasn't dark and gritty like how most DC films are. And it was a good movie, man. It was just an overall good movie. I really enjoyed it a lot. But with this one, they decided just to go left, man. They just decided just to say, hey, this film is taking place in the 80s and we're going to run with it. You know what I mean? And this is a far cry from what the first one was. Because this one, like I said, it does take place in the 80s. So that whole world of the Amazonians, that's all gone. You pretty much have the character Wonder Woman in this world of 1984. You know what I mean? And it doesn't, like I said, this movie, it kind of feels like a old cheesy comic book film. Like, you know those old cheesy comic book films that came out in the 70s and 80s? Like, it had that kind of feel to it. That I was getting that kind of vibe, because there was a lot of scenes where I'm just scratching my head like, wait, what the hell is this? Like, what? Like, this is, I don't know, man. Like, and also, too, I do feel like the movie was a little bit too long. I don't think that the movie should have been 2.5 hours. They could have cut at least 20 to 30 minutes from this, man. It shouldn't have been 2.5 hours. I think it was a little bit too long. It definitely did drag on. And like I said, the one of the things I did like, though, is the colors. Like, the colors, if you thought the first one was just like bright and colorful, this one is very bright. There's not really a dark setting in this movie whatsoever. The only dark setting that this movie had was towards the end. You know what I mean? But even that had bright colors in it because you had Wonder Woman's lasso, you had TV screens and all that. But most of this film, most of the sets is bright, colorful, highly saturated. I could just imagine watching this in a theater and just be like eye gouged with color. You know what I mean? It's definitely bright, definitely colorful. I would say more colorful than the first one. It's definitely an uplifting kind of film as far as like colors go. It's not a lot of grays, not a lot of blacks, not a lot of dark blues. Everything is just bright yellows and, you know, the reds, and, you know, the colors definitely pop. And like I said, the whole 80s vibe definitely really plays heavy in this film. They really captured that whole 80s feel, the 80s feel down to a T. Like I said, watching this film, it definitely feels like a 1980s type of movie. Like a film that you could just watch in the 80s, or like a comic book film that came out in the 80s. That's like certain shots. There are certain scenes where I'm watching, I'm like, man, that's like, it's like a rip from a 1980s movie. Like they had like this was early on in the movie. Wonder Woman and the main villain was in the party or whatnot, and just that whole vibe, like the whole party setting with the music, it kind of reminded me of like a scene from Scarface or something like that, just because of how it was shot and stuff like that. And I do like stuff like that in films, like where you have certain films that takes place in a certain time period, and they really capture those moments, because I really think they did that really well. One of the things I didn't really like about this film was the main villain of itself. I really think that this villain was super hammy and super cheesy. I didn't really like this villain at all. I don't even know if he's a villain in the comics, or he's just a made-up character they made up for the movie. Like I said, I don't read comic books like that. I don't really read comic books at all, but I just like, you know, I do like comic book characters. I do like the comic book lore, but I'm not really well-versed in comic books, let alone Wonder Woman. So I don't know if Max Lord is the one of Wonder Woman's main villains. I never heard of him before this film, so I doubt it. But for any of my comic book heads that run across this video, let me know, man, because this guy is his acting and all of that, he's definitely over the top, and especially towards the end. And I feel like that sums up this movie, is over the top. Like, they just went balls to the wall, especially towards the end. Like I said, that last act was just like, everything was just pretty much gone to shit. Like, they just took the script and just said, they just threw it away. It's just like, yo, we just gonna do whatever, dog. Like, that's what it felt like to me, because I was just sitting there. I'm just like, what the hell is this? And, you know, once it ended, I was just like, what the hell did I just, like, what the hell was that? You know what I mean? So I would say, like, I can't say that I didn't like the film, but I can't say that I didn't like the film, but at the same time, I can't say that I like the film. I don't know. Like, my thoughts are just mixed on this. I think there was a lot more things that I didn't like than I did like. There's very little things that I did like compared to what I didn't like. There's just a lot of just like the choices that they made with this film, as far as like the whole tone, and I don't know if I feel the whole vibe of this film, man. I think that's one of the things that took me back, is just the whole tone and the whole vibe of it. Like I said, and with the plot of itself, like, I really wasn't feeling the whole plot with the whole wish thing. They have like this stone where you could wish for certain things, and I just really felt like they just took that and ran it to the ground, because after a certain point, you just got tired of it, because it kept repeating it over and over and over and over and over again, especially with the villain. That's all he did. Like, all he did in the whole movie was just go to certain people and ask them what they wish was so he could grant it. And this movie is bizarre. That's basically all I could say. And this is, like I said, this is like just my initial thoughts on the film. I'm just seeing it for the first time. So I think I'm going to go back and watch it again and really sit down with it. But yeah, my initial thoughts is just this film is bizarre. This film is just, my God, bizarre. A lot of choices that they made just left me scratching my head. I didn't really like the whole plot with the whole wish thing. Like all the plots was just, I didn't like it all. Even the whole like, I guess you could call it like a subplot with the cheetah. I did not like how they did the cheetah at all. That's the other thing I didn't like. I did not like that. Like they just ham-fisted the cheetah in last minute. Now they did build her up, but like I said, I didn't like how they did her. I didn't like how they did her like that. Now I don't know the whole origins behind the cheetah, backstory and all that. I know she is one of the main villains of Wonder Woman, but if I could recall, I'm pretty sure that the cheetah came from a tribe of her own. And in this film, they did not do that at all. Like, I feel like she was like a lazy add-in. Like, it almost kind of reminded me of what they did to Venom in Spider-Man 3. I'm going to just put it that. If you haven't seen the film yet, just kind of picture what they did with Venom in Spider-Man 3, and that's kind of what they did with this. Although it wasn't as fisted it wasn't as ham-fisted as what they did to Venom. But it kind of had like that same kind of feel. I did not like how they did Cheetah at all, man. And I thought that Cheetah was going to be the main. I thought going into it, I thought Cheetah was going to be the main villain, but she's actually not. It's this Max Lord dude. Oh, man. Yeah. Like I said, I don't think that it's a bad film, but it's just a film. If you watch it, I think that this is the type of film that's going to leave you scratching your head. Like, what the hell was that? Like, what did I just watch? Like, I don't even know. I'm trying to process what the hell did I just watch. Because especially if you watch the last act of the movie, or if you was watching a movie and then when it got to the last act, once the movie's over, you're just going to be like, this was a whole big clusterfuck of just like, what the hell was going on? Like, you just had all kind of crazy shit just going on at one time. And it's like, on top of the cheesy, hammy acting of the villain. I want to say it's a letdown. And I would say that it is kind of a letdown watching it on its first run. It is kind of a letdown because I really had high hopes for this film, man. After watching the first one, I was really anticipating seeing this film. And after watching it now, I'm just like, yeah, it's the sequel. And we all know what happens to sequels, man. Yeah, but that's my initial thoughts on it. There's really not much else to say. But this film, I don't know what Patty Jenkins was thinking, man. I don't know what she was thinking. I don't know what her process was behind this film. And man, it's all I could say is this film is bizarre. This film is definitely bizarre. And that's all I could say. But I'm going to watch it again and I'm going to do my review on it. Maybe on the second time watching it, maybe I'll like it a little bit more. Maybe I'll understand certain things a little bit more. But for right now, it's just kind of leaving a bad taste in my mouth. Sad to say. So, with that being said, man, this is my initial thoughts on Wonder Woman. So, until my next, man.